Hey, and welcome back to our game. We ended up missing last week because of some unforeseen conflicts and whatnot, but we are back this week, 1 hour later than usual, but we're still here nonetheless for what will be a very exciting session. Because we're starting a little bit later, we're gonna jump pretty much right into things. Just a quick introduction. I'm Emerson. My players rotating from top left down to right are Trent, Dylan, Deja, Emily, Carly, and Melody. And we just finished up a very intense fight. Yes, unfortunately, our other player, Jerry, cannot make it today, but everyone else is here. We just finished a very intense fight. The players are breaking into effectively a faculty building where there's tons of offices and whatnot to try and steal a confiscated toy that just insults whoever's holding it. It's more of a kind of hazing first year test that no one's been able to accomplish, but you guys seem to have been able to find the doll. However, in the process, you uncovered a plot by the sinister Auric agents who hope to overthrow Strixhaven as the essentially de facto rule on magic. So you guys, oh my god, expelled. That's great. But you guys ended up fighting an Auric agent, and in the ensuing fight, you guys actually managed to unmask them, managing to defeat them right before they could escape. However, in the process, Syntax was pretty beaten to a pulp. He ended up losing a leg in the process, and kind of was partially strangled to death again by his robes when some of the gross eldritch balm that was corrupted by the Auric broke and spilled on it. However, you guys beat this Auric with a single decisive punch from Quintilius, who opted to keep the agent alive. The mask that hid their identity broke, and now it is revealed that the individual underneath is none other than Aurora Luna Winterstar, the musician first year who seems interested in Witherbloom and who seemed to have a rather close building friendship with Ryza. Yeah. And before we start properly, we got some new artwork I think some of us would like to show off. And then we're going to get right back into the game proper. Now, okay, yeah, so Fandomite, we did have a... I'm happy that you did get to see it, even if you did not see it when it was live, but I'm happy that you felt the pain too. They were not supposed to unmask the Auric guys. This was supposed to be like the next month of narrative was them trying to figure out who this was. So that's great, guys.
We were on point.
No, it was really well done. So I can't be mad. Okay. Now, there was some very salacious, is that the term? Scandalous artwork done for one of our characters, done by one of our players. Would you guys like to give it a proper introduction? Not you don't have to, but
I did sexy syntax commission for Trent there.
Yeah. We spent time in detail working on yes. Yeah.
It's fantastic, guys. And apparently taking a while to load. Okay, there it is.
It's a very large
file. So I am going to make our Discord public. I just haven't yet because I'm a loser. But when it does go public, you will get to see all of this amazing artwork, including the amazing artwork Carly has done in all of its beautiful glory and high resolution. And also, you'll be able to, if anything strikes your fancy, contribute artwork or fan art or other stuff as well. we want to make this as inclusive and collaborative with everyone as we can. It'll also allow us to chat about fun stuff before and after sessions and all that. But yes, it's very cool. You can see some awesome sort of writings on the shoulders and rib cage, as well as some the leg that is no longer attached. Yeah.
There's so much detail on it. It's wild.
It's insane.
It's
Thank you,
fucking
guys.
amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
So now, back to emotional damage. Aurora lays on the ground, knocked unconscious, her mask fallen to the ground, and the weird ethereal light and smoky purple obscuring magic that had kept her identity, well, obscured, is no longer present. I believe one of you picked up the broken mask, but now she simply lies there. Quintelius looks down at her. She's on the top steps, very sort of shocked. Almost like he didn't expect the punch to actually take her out, and nonetheless for it to be someone that he would recognize. He's just standing over her in stunned silence. While the rest of you, what are you doing?
To clarify, is she at the top or bottom of the stairs?
Top of the stairs.
Okay.
So who can see that it's Aurora right now?
I will say right now, everyone except Giuseppe, and Ryza. Everyone except Giuseppe and Ryza can see who this is. But I will say both Giuseppe and Ryza know something happened. Like you saw the mask fall down the stairs. Ryza, you're currently standing with the Earl, who is getting ready to go up there and fuck shit up. So in other words, unless you do something, very quickly the Earl will see who the Auric agent is as well. Whether or not you want that to happen, that's entirely up to you guys. But I will say, it's easy enough that if any of you guys are interested in seeing who it is, Ryza or Giuseppe, we're kind of out of combat, and this is a small hallway. It doesn't take much energy. You just have to consciously look, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Is Syntax still being smothered?
No. His clothes are kind of in tatters. I believe there was acid damage done to it. So it's just kind of dissolved and not...
Yeah.
He just...
Syntax
they look like shit. Pretty much Syntax just looks like shit.
They're laying on the ground, like, chest down, like, kind of seeing what happened with, like, their hair fucking all fucked up, and they're not doing anything. They unless you guys do stuff, they're just watching and, like, barely and out of conscious. They're
Like,
fine on sheet-wise, but I don't plan to do much. They're fucking down.
I will say, you guys can tell that he is alive. Like, you guys aren't going to have to worry about them being alive. But it's still one of those things, like, one of you guys is going to have to effectively carry them down. Like, they are missing a leg. That leg, by the way, is just down the stairwell at this point. Because it teleported through the teleporter. But what was...
Then we'll go over to Syntax.
And what is Ryza doing?
So Ryza...
We can't hear you, unfortunately. Can you get a little bit closer to the mic for us?
Hello? Testing?
Yeah, I think it's working now.
Sorry, this mic is on. As I was saying...
perfect. Right there. That was perfect.
Ryza's holding Syntax like, even though she probably hasn't registered that it is Syntax like, because, like, there's a leg here, and it's holding it. She hears the commotion, so she quickly goes up the stairs and sees Aurora laying there. And she immediate knee-jerk reaction is to run over there, but she also remembers the Earl. And in a split second, she decides to go run to the Earl and present the leg in front of him and be like, "Oh, I found this lake. I don't know where this comes from. Just trying to distract him from going up the stairs yet. Because he doesn't
Okay.
know what to make of this yet.
Okay, cool. Kind of that instinctually protecting Aurora, even though you know you probably shouldn't. I love that. So the Earl is getting ready to go into the teleporter, kind of the closest thing to sort of huffing and getting ready this weird little robotic gremlin thing can really do. And as you present this leg in front of it, it just goes, "Oh, is that a leg? That's a leg. I'm pretty sure that's a leg. Did that
Yes.
come off of a student?"
Oh, I don't know. I just found it here. I'm hoping that it's not a student's. I was wondering if you could maybe help me figure this out.
It takes the leg in a very sort of surgical way, like grabbing the ankle and the thigh and like holding it like just right there. And then it looks at you and says, "And you found this leg upstairs? In the attic?"
No, I did not. I actually found it down here.
"Very well. I will find the owner of this leg."
Oh wait, but before you go, could I actually hold the leg instead? Maybe it's better if I hold on to it.
Roll a persuasion check, because this is some weird shit. Go for it.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I rolled it. Yeah.
That is a 20. Yeah, the Earl,
Oh.
this isn't weird at all. This makes total sense. Of course you'd hold on to the leg. It just looks at you and it gives a nod, but again, its head is like, it doesn't have a head, it's part of the body. So it's more of like the whole body rocking forward and back. And this says, "Very well, I shall look through here. It sounds as though the fighting has ceased, and you lot must have stopped the arsonist."
I believe
They start strolling down the hallway in a very kind of like jaunty kind of pace. And then it opens up the one of the doors to the south and steps inside and says, "Hello, is anyone missing a leg?" And then it like steps in, goes in there for like 10 seconds, then comes out and be like, "No one is missing a leg." And then it goes to the next door and does the same thing. So while this is happening, you think you probably have it occupied for a good couple of minutes.
I'm back up my page.
Yeah, so you run back up, and again, Aurora hasn't really moved. Meanwhile, Nim, you are tending to Syntax, correct?
Yeah. He'll go boop, boop, over there. Yeah, he's just he'll just bend down and be like, "Ryza has your leg."
They'll just kind of like move the head towards speaking in Nim's direction. Just go. Did we do it? You were all supposed
yeah.
to leave.
I don't know what we're supposed to do right now, but you know the Auric, it's Aurora. Her mask came off.
Aurora from class?
Yeah, from class. She's just laying there.
Syntax will just do like an awkward army crawl on the ground over.
Okay.
And
guess.
we'll help him. He'll like
It's
lift him up
fine.
and like show him.
Yeah. She's not that far, so it's just like a scooty. I don't know.
I love the implication of Nim holding Syntax's like broken torso like a teddy bear, like straight forward, just pointing it at things. I know that's probably not what's
like hanging
happening,
there.
but like I love it from a, you know.
Yeah, if Syntax doesn't need help, Nim will offer it, but then he'll be like, "Okay, you can see it."
And Syntax is just gonna like try to nudge with sharp horns of like, get away. Okay.
By the time
Yeah,
you
okay.
get
You're
to
like, okay.
Yeah.
by the time you get to Aurora, that's probably when Ryza gets back up there
Yeah,
after
perfect,
distracting the Earl. At this point, all of you are crowded around Aurora. I'm assuming Giuseppe is as well. Giuseppe has much less connection to Aurora, having only seen her in passing. But you still most definitely recognize Aurora as another first-year student. Quintilius looks at you all and then just says, objectively, I'm not deciding what we're doing here. I took her out. I did my job. He steps back. I don't know what the right choice is here. Probably turning her in, but I don't know why that feels very dirty.
She's laying down, passed out, like her face.
Yeah, face up, kind of on her back, because she fell backwards. She fell backwards down, and then he punched her. So she just has kind of this big knot on her head. But other than that, she's just laying on her back, kind of sprawled on the top few steps. Doesn't look super comfortable, but yeah.
Erica is going to gently flip her over and rip off her sleeve and tie her arms behind her.
Ooh, I like it.
And then flip her back.
Can Nim like pat Aurora on the face, like to see if she'll wake up? Like, hey.
Yeah. You know what? I'm trying to think what role that would be. I want to make you roll, but like...
Medicine.
Medicine. Thank you. I forget that exists. Slapping is medicine now, guys.
Hell yeah. 22.
Holy fuck. Yeah, she's gonna wake up.
Nim's face will be like 2 inches from
She
her.
literally has a single hit point, guys. She's gonna wake up and her eyes are gonna kind of process slowly. And then you can kind of see the moment of realization. And then you see her arms try to move like she's trying to probably reach for her face in some way. And then she can't.
Nim's just gonna pull out his dagger and like hold it close to her face and be like, "Good morning. You think you can fuck with us? Huh?"
Roll an intimidation.
Woohoo.
With advantage, because it's all of you guys looming over her.
Also, it's Nim.
Yeah. Also, it's Nim.
Wow. Dice fucking hate me today.
A 7.
All right. The better one was a 10.
Okay, a 10.
Not great.
That's not good enough. Let's see something. Oh no, she crit. You are going to take 6 damage as she kicks you in the crotch. And roll initiative, everybody, I guess. We're back in this. Unless you guys quickly try to find a way, or let's not roll initiative. She has 1 hit point. I don't want to roll initiative for that. But she kicks you and does very quickly she does that like kind of ninja jump where she jumps back onto her feet without using her hands. And it's a really impressive thing. But as she lands on her feet, she kind of stumbles a bit. As you can see, she's definitely concussed. Nim is probably groaning as
he's on the
rest the rest of the group she is kind of preparing to fight you all, but she's completely surrounded. So she's standing there and Nim, your dagger you drop as you take damage. And you see her lunge toward the dagger.
I see her lunge for it.
All of you see her lunge for it. You lunge. Oh, sorry, Karathina.
Karathina is gonna, because I imagine at this point from where we were, she's going to grab where Laura's arms are joined and pull her back.
Hell yeah. Okay. You don't need to make a check for this. You yank her back and she thuds hard on her butt on the top step. That hit seems to kind of have taken the wind out of her, and she just sits there glaring at all of you. But she doesn't say anything. She just glares.
Kirtan is also going to sit on her legs to immobilize her.
Nim wants to pick his dagger back up, please.
Yeah, go for it. You're good.
And while this all happens, Ryza gives Syntax back his
Give Syntax what?
back their
He's
leg.
leaving.
Okay.
They
Yeah, they're just kind of like hold it and watch. Mostly, honestly, looking between Ryza and Aurora. Like they want to say something and normally would, but today's been a fucking day.
Aurora just raises an eyebrow questioningly at you all. So what are we going to do here? We're just going to sit this whole time? You plan on just sitting in my lap forever, okay? I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but let's not, shall we? Or at least someone else, maybe? She glances at Ryza a little bit.
Ryza catches eyes with her, doesn't know what to feel, so her first action is to walk up to Aurora and look her dead in the eye and said, "Why? Why did you do this?"
She rolls her eyes. Because the world needs to change. Isn't that obvious?
What do you mean? What pain?
What?
You're not going anywhere. You might as well answer me.
I know the school likes to paint Auric like we're some monsters and whatnot, but the bottom line is we're fighting for freedom. We're fighting to stop them. Stop all of their asinine control of literally everything.
You tried to kill all of us today.
Yeah, I did. Because unfortunately, the only thing that works now is violence. It's the only thing they fucking respond to. So yeah,
Well,
I
it
did try to
doesn't seem
kill
like
you
it
all.
worked very well.
She
Didn't work
smirks.
very well, did it?
She smirks. I mean, it's not like I'm going to have any repercussions from this.
Nim just looks at her like, what the fuck? Yes, you will.
She just continues to smirk. Look. Change has to come. And unfortunately, sacrifices have to be made. Whether that's my own life or, unfortunately, people who get in the way. I didn't want you guys to, obviously. Hell, I thought half you guys might even make good Auric recruits yourselves, but like... You just... Wrong place, wrong time, guys. I guess I can say the same thing for me now, too, so...
Would you have killed Ryza?
She doesn't look at Ryza or Syntax as she's kind of just looking down. And she says quietly, I would have done what needed to be done. You can roll an insight check if you would like. Anyone
fucking
can.
Yes.
Was it insight, right?
Insight, correct.
What? Sorry, things are moving slow.
You're good.
Let's go, dude. Natural 20.
Fucking hell. A natural 20 for a 21 from Syntax. Once we see... Okay, awesome. And Ryza got an 18 and Giuseppe got a 16. I will say, all of you get the feeling that she was very conflicted about the idea of Ryza. Kaerthana, you think she just would have probably just fucking killed her. But everyone else... Literally everyone else rolled high enough that you get the feeling she was conflicted about it, and probably conflicted about fighting all of you guys, to be completely honest. You get the idea that she was holding back a little. And so that like, or I'll emphasize she was holding back some, but then when she did strike, she wanted to get it over with fast. Which is one reason why like she hit Syntax so hard. Is just kind of that like she has a job she has to do, she's going to get it over with before she can second guess it. You also get the feeling that she was looking for any excuse not to hurt you guys. So her kind of fascination with Syntax might have been important, but might have also been just her excuse to not kill them. But again, she only really properly fought Syntax. Everyone else kind of fled or just didn't quite get the chance yet. So you're not sure if she would have come up with excuses for you guys or if whatnot. Because she said she was interested in recruiting you guys, she might have tried to offer like, join me and together, Voldemort speech kind of thing. But in general, you can tell she's conflicted, even though she's trying to put on a tough face right now.
Riza's gonna walk straight up to her and just talk, not the word I'm looking for. She's gonna essentially see that she doesn't want to, but will if she feels it's necessary, and basically say, I think you might have been holding back on us because you're feeling that you do feel some type of way about us outside of this. Does our friendship mean nothing to you at this point?
You're leaning into her?
Not like face to face, but I'm much closer. Kind of like
yeah,
like
I get you.
Want you to eyeballs, like see that.
She's intentionally not making eye contact with you.
Exactly.
And she also doesn't seem to want to answer that question.
So Riza's gonna take her silence and I think that you don't really feel this way about us, and I do think there's some good in you still, and I really hope we could find that again. I really did feel like,
as you say some good, you can see kind of this anger light in her eyes as she snaps to look at you. And she's like, just because I'm fighting for a cause doesn't mean I'm bad. This whole fucking good or bad bullshit. You're just an attack dog for the fucking school.
What does that make you? Because from where I'm sitting, you seem like the animal.
The difference is that I actually know what the fuck I'm fighting for.
No, you don't.
Okay, so then tell me, what am I fighting for? Because obviously you know, but I don't. What are you fighting for? A fucking doll? Is that the only thing you're fighting for?
I fight for what's good. I don't kill because I feel like it's necessary.
Oh, you're fighting for what's good. The same institution that 3 years ago massacred an entire village on the border of the Elven Kingdoms. The same school that right now is initiating a diplomatic and an economic sanctions and embargo on Goldheart and the surrounding country, knowing that the surrounding countryside relies exclusively on their aid for survival, simply because Goldheart is advancing magics that they didn't, quote, authorize. Okay, that's the institution that you're fighting for? An institution that uses its power to scare people into submission.
Isn't that what you're doing?
No.
What makes you different?
What makes me different is that my institution is trying to help people. Of course, we have to be violent to do it, but that's because that's the only language they know. Whenever you try to be peaceful, they'll crush you and kill all of you, and then post some bullshit story that they'll have their mages write, and just no one will believe you. Ever. So yeah, we're violent. And yeah, people get caught in the crosshairs, but it's the only way that people listen.
Riza's gonna take a step back, absorb everything she just said, and say, you know, if violence is the only way you see to fix this, then I don't think what we shared in music would have happened. And then she walks away.
Aurora, you can see, is just kind of fuming a little bit on the floor. So, what are you guys gonna do with me? You guys gonna turn me over to the school so they can kill me in a dark basement somewhere and say that some magical mishap happened while at school?
You think they would kill you?
Oh, absolutely. Not before they torture me and try to get information out of me.
Emerson, just to clarify, Giuseppe is in class with her, right?
Yes. She's in one of your intro courses, correct.
Okay. Giuseppe's gonna talk to her and say, or like get a little bit closer to her, but he's still kind of hesitant. And say, we're gonna force you to be our friend until we change your mind.
Giuseppe. I love that.
And that's all he's gonna say. No. He's gonna add on and say, I wasn't fighting for this school. I was fighting for my friends. That's all I ever fight for. And if you were fighting against your friends, I don't know what that means about you, but we're gonna change your mind. And then he's just gonna like step back into the group.
I don't think any of us want you to die, Aurora. But we do have to make a choice now. You haven't said anything, Evie.
Evie's just been kind of like taking everything in, so I'm just watching as everything's been happening.
I don't think you necessarily deserve to die. Maybe if we made some sort of agreement, you stay out of our way and we'll stay out of yours. Don't try to kill us anymore. And we'll return the favor.
Her eyes pass over all of you as she's kind of gritting her teeth. And then she looks at Kay. Care to get off my fucking legs yet?
No. Still don't trust you. Don't think you can blame me for that.
She just rolls her eyes but doesn't argue. And then looks at the rest of you, eyes falling on Quintilius, who's stayed quiet, and then he'll just put up defensive hands and be like, I told them they have to decide. I punched you, and that's all I'm doing. Then you can see him go a little bit pale as he realizes he admitted that he's the one who punched her. But he instinctually like takes a step a little bit behind Nim. Whether or not he realizes that's what he's doing, he definitely, like the tallest person, just casually like he's suddenly very interested in like some lint on the ground kind of thing. But yeah, she just lets out a heavy sigh. Look, all you have to do is let me go now, and the school will be none the wiser. You can even say you fought an orc agent here. You can expose our little ruse here. I don't care. I have an alibi for this. So save you guys directly turning me in, I'll be fine.
You're gonna leave. Or you'll kill us later.
She smirks at you. If we killed everyone who fought against us, there wouldn't be anyone to share the stories. We only work because people talk. What makes you think I have any interest in killing you now?
So we don't tell Mavinda who you are.
Go for it. And then you'll be able to see whose alibi makes more sense. She counts the number of people in the room. 7 people saying that I'm an Auric agent, or the 100 plus who are currently watching me perform in the Bozen Tavern.
Syntax holds his sending stone out, just at this point getting a little tired with her shit, and just goes, I can call her right now and she can be here in minutes.
Yeah, and again, that wouldn't end well for me. But that's what I'm saying. Just let me go and I'll be fine. And you'll be fine as well.
We're not just gonna let you go. If we let you go, you have to promise that you're not going to fuck with us anymore. And that
Like
you won't
I
even try to
said,
kill us later.
it has nothing to do with you guys personally. It's the fact that you constantly end up getting in the way of our plans. I was setting traps tonight. Yes, I intentionally chose tonight because I hoped someone would run into them. But it had nothing to do with it being you lot running into them. Again, wrong place at the wrong time.
Is Ryza still gone?
Rises in the
Well, they
area.
just- Okay.
She's still around, but she's very upset. Like, very upset. She feels very betrayed. She thought she made a genuine connection with somebody through their love of music, but now she's questioning whether that was any of that even real.
Syntax is going to call down the stairs for Ryza to come back. Ryza, we need to make a plan soon. Please come here.
Ryza appears, but is glaring at Aurora.
Aurora, again, is not making eye contact with Ryza.
She should do that.
So are we turning her in or no? I don't care. I don't fight for the school.
She scoffs at that, but otherwise stays quiet.
I don't really care either. But I don't want her to fuck with us again.
I'm mad. I don't want her to fuck with anybody.
Again, so long as you're not getting in the path of an Auric plan, you'll be fine.
That's just us. What about any other kid who would have walked through here?
She again doesn't
probably be
really
dead.
make eye contact with you at that.
You think we're that selfish that we only care about ourselves?
Look, there's a reason why I chose to hit the faculty building. This one's actually going to be... Well, had you not stopped that little trap in the supply room, it actually would have been rather dangerous. I put it in a faculty building on purpose.
You said you knew we were coming here tonight and students would be here.
She, again, doesn't really look up as she can tell that she's kind of caught in this weird sort of logical fallacy of hers.
I think a lot of us want to help you, and maybe not in the same ways. I don't think I could forgive you, though, but I could live with letting you go. I want to know what everyone else thinks.
I think we should
agree.
take turns following her and making sure that she doesn't hurt anybody.
Aurora
Sounds
looks
like
at Giuseppe with like a smirk of amusement. Honey, that's not gonna work.
It's not. She already has at least one body double or somebody who can magically turn into her. We don't even know if she's goes to class with us. Does she react to that at all?
She gives a shrug of like, like kind of that like I'm not going to argue with what he's saying kind of thing. But like you get again, you rolled a crit on insight, so I'm just gonna
Yeah, I
keep that
know.
for this.
Syntax is
You
done
get
at
the
this
you
point.
get the vibe that like what you're saying helps her seem stronger. So she's not gonna like disagree with it, but also like it's totally her who was in all of your classes. You know what I mean? Like it could just be someone casting disguise self, right? It's not that it's necessarily a
Yeah,
body
yeah.
double.
No.
Or some like crazy magic, but Aurora's gonna let them believe that it is.
Can Giuseppe's gonna ask her, who is the faculty member that you're targeting?
She lets out a sigh. We're not targeting anyone. We just need there to be a problem with the Eldritch Bomb.
And then what?
And then that's it.
Really? Just a couple issues at school and then nothing?
That's at least my job here.
Do you even know? Do they even tell you why you're doing these things?
Again, she doesn't really make eye contact with you at this because at least Syntax and those who rolled high enough can tell that you might have said something a little bit accurate, right? And she just, again, doesn't really look at you and as she says, that's my job here. We need to make the Eldritch Bomb an issue. And it doesn't seem like it was a big enough issue. So she shrugs. I decided
we let her
tonight
go.
would be the night to make it. Oh,
Mm-hmm. That's just one person's opinion.
she kind of
But
slumps a bit.
I don't think she deserves to die either. What's supposed to happen after you corrupt the Eldritch Bomb and make it a big enough problem?
Well, then people focus on it.
But have
So
they
you're
even told you what's going to
just-
happen beyond that?
I don't know.
It sounds
I
like
just
you're not
know
fully
I
informed.
was supposed to guard the spring for when people finally come to fix it and make a scene.
So you're making a distraction.
That's my guess, but I wouldn't know what for.
You don't know what for, yet you're fighting a war for these people?
It's because I trust them. I
Mm.
trust the person in charge. If they have a plan and they need me to cause a distraction, I'm going to do my job.
Seems like Ryza trusted you, and that didn't work out for her very well.
I never said you could trust me. I said I trust them.
I'm saying you could be wrong. So what are we going to do with her?
I hope you know what I've shared with you here. I shared a lot. And that's because, not just because I want to save my own neck, but because I want you guys to stay safe as well. I suppose. Just, do with it what you will, but know that even if I leave the school, if you guys start making it a big deal about how this Eldritch Bomb is a distraction, then they're just going to ramp it up. I don't know what they're planning.
Evie,
Mhm.
please, you have to say something.
Mm,
I really value what you have to say.
mm. Well, it's almost good to like maybe to tell someone so that no one else can get hurt, but there might be other people hiding. So I don't know.
I promise you I'm not the last one here.
Aurora, don't you want to know what this is for? What they're planning? What the big event is?
I mean, yeah. But again,
We could find out together.
you're not going to make me turn on them or anything like that. I know you have this weird, childish, I don't know, faith in humanity, but look, the world's not like that. Bad shit
world's-
happens, and what was that?
The world's whatever we make it, and right now, you need us to cooperate with you, and we need you to cooperate with us. So I say we make a plan. You claim all these things that you think you know about us, like we're fighting for the school, and you don't know anything about us. I didn't even know your name until today.
I can say the same thing to you. You're assuming I'm this monster when I'm the one who actually has a cause she's fighting for.
Then let's get past this.
I'd love
This is
to.
a school we can all learn from each other. I want to let her go.
We'll let you go if you tell us what their plans are, so that we can keep the right people safe, so that we can keep each other safe.
She rolls her eyes and lets out a sigh. Did you not listen to anything I just said? I don't know what their plans are. I just
Fine.
know.
You don't know yet. You can
You're
find out. And if you find out right before and you know it's going to hurt people that you know, you have to tell us. That's the deal now.
So you want me to be a double agent, effectively.
No, not for everything. But if you know it's going to hurt people that you care about, that has to matter and that has to mean something to you. Otherwise, you can die tonight. If that's a tough choice for you, I feel bad.
I mean, I can say, okay. Obviously, I'm not going to try to hurt people I care about.
Do you promise?
Promises don't mean shit, but sure, if it'll make you feel any better.
You have to swear if we let you go that you'll do this for us.
That I'll warn you if they're crossing a line. I get it. And sure. Hell, you're already enough of a thorn in their side that it wouldn't be that weird for you guys to show up and mess things up again. So I suppose if there's a group to let in on something, you're probably the most logical and the least suspicious. So fine.
Nim will look at Kaerthana, who's sitting on her legs still, and be like, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't trust her to tell us anything.
I don't
think
either.
we should. But I do think it could be good to keep this in our pocket. And if we need to start rumors that a certain someone we know is in, I think rumors can be strong as much as you think you have such a strong house. There are reasons to hold to your part of this deal. I think some of these faculty are smarter than you think to believe that an alibi of someone altering themselves to look like you is enough to bar you from suspicion.
Again, you get the feeling that she agrees with what you're saying, but that infuriates her.
So I'm ready to let her go, knowing that she knows the conditions under which we will cause doubt regarding your current status here as a student.
Fine. It's not like I have a choice.
You're going to tell us and meet with us every Friday at lunch, and you're going to have to sit with us, and you're going to have to talk to us. That's also a part of the conditions.
Okay, so I have to be forced to be your friend. Got it.
What do you like for lunch?
She gives you just the most, like, deadpan look. I'm a dampier.
I don't know your allergies. Syntax is like legitimately smiling now. Like
She
he's past
rolls-
it. We've agreed.
She rolls her eyes again. She's like, it's not allergies. Just, we tend to like things like, we tend to like meat.
Syntax is gonna take the doll that I think Nim is holding.
Yeah, he has it
Just
tucked in his
hold-
robes. If you want it, you're gonna have to ask for it.
He's gonna just go for it then. He doesn't care.
Oh
He'll nuzzle his way in
Okay.
there. Yep. And then he's just gonna like point it at Aurora and wait for it to say something.
Shit, I don't know why I didn't have this table up. Hold on, let me grab it. Let me grab it.
What? You don't need the table.
No, the
Say
table is
something
great because they're
very-
so lame. Let me get to it.
You're stalling the moment. You could say something about this. Come on.
I thought about doing that with the doll too.
So as you extended the doll toward her, it looks at her, and again, it doesn't move, but like just the way that its head flops to the side just comes across as a little passive aggressive. And then it just says, "How about hells no?" And then as you shift it again, you just hear it say again, "I heard you snack on owlbear pellets."
And then he's gonna put it away.
As you're putting it away, you just hear a muffled, "Really? In those robes?"
Are you just putting it back in Nim's robes?
Yeah.
All right, he lets you. Are
As
there
it
pieces
goes
of the
away, you
aura-
just hear completely muffled, "If you say so."
Are there the pieces of the auric mask still on the ground?
Yes.
Oh, we have those. We scooped
Yeah.
those up, right?
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure someone had them. Nim is going to go over to Aurora and take out some tiny scissors, and he's gonna chop off a lock of her hair, just like tiny, just like little snip.
What are you doing?
Doesn't matter, does it? We're letting you go. He just like folds it up and puts it in his pocket.
She like does that like deep breath kind of breathing of like, it's okay. Can you get off my legs now? My foot's falling asleep.
At least you have a foot.
So do
Yeah,
you.
that
It's
was
just not
fucked up.
attached anymore. Get over it.
We need you to get some medical attention.
Do you though? He's mostly screws.
I'm talking about you, Aurora.
I'm fine. Just let me go, please. Before you bend my knee backwards.
Get up off of her legs, but then grab her where her arms are joined at the back and stand her up. A little rough.
Ooh.
Okay, I get it. You're so cool. I'm so intimidated. Please, spare me.
You've both done that before.
Okay,
See you at lunch.
bye-bye. Can you, you don't have to untie me, but can you maybe let go? Give me a little bit of breathing room so I can get out of here?
Actually, I think first you're going to let us know how to destabilize that trap you set up so that doesn't go off.
I mean, you did it before, didn't you? Just take down the fucking vials. But I do suggest you make sure it doesn't happen, because otherwise you're going to be dealing with some black puddings, which are not particularly healthy for someone of your magical caliber to be dealing with.
You're gonna come with us to make sure that goes well before we.
Yeah, I don't plan on doing that. She's going to make a roll real quick. So she's going to try to tug out of your grip. So I need you to roll a strength check, and she's going to roll an acrobatics check. Okay. This is not a save. This is an athletics check, but you can keep that roll because that was a 15. You may actually have a modifier to your athletics, though.
No, I don't.
Okay. So it's the same difference. She rolled a 15. Let me see if she has modifiers. I think she does. She has a +2. So that does mean that she manages to pull from your grip.
And then stick out his foot and trip her.
Sure.
She's gonna die.
Roll for me. This is going to be a, in this case, it's going to be Dex because you need to go fast. So let's do an acrobatics check, okay?
All right. I just want to see if it happens.
She falls down the stairs and dies.
16.
Okay, I'll have her roll again. Okay, I somehow rolled 3 dice, but the first one was a crit. So she's going to hop over your leg as she lands on the teleporter rune, and she's going to look back at you all and then give you guys what might have been playful at one point, but in this case it's just malicious. Like a malicious wink. And then be like, see you later, ass wipes. And then you'll see the teleporter rune, the normal blue, instead flares up this purple sort of sickening color as she teleports away to some unknown location.
We should have killed her.
Giuseppe wants a new friend.
That was really cute on
Fine.
Giuseppe's end on a side note. Okay.
That was really cute.
You then hear echoing from down the stairs, "The owner of the leg is not to be found on this floor." And then there's a flash of light as the Earl teleports into the attic. "Is the owner? The owner of the leg!" As he points at Syntax cradling the leg.
I wanted to point with the leg.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have the leg.
Yeah, I think Syntax is holding it.
Yeah, so he sees that, and then
Syntax
he
has it already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the Earl arrives and is just looking at Syntax. "Oh, it's a good ending for everyone. Maybe. Do you need that leg
Are you able to
reattached?"
attach that?
I'm never putting this leg on again.
The
I'll
Earl
make
looks
the
at it
Earl.
and then turns back to Nim. "No, I cannot reattach that. I am a butler. I am the Earl of this house. I am good at butling, not surgery."
Okay. Syntax, would you like help downstairs then, or no?
Yes, please.
Do not forget, teleporters are here for your convenience and for accessibility for all students and faculty. It says this like it's a pre-recorded statement. "I better get back to cleaning. After all, the arsonists downstairs made quite a ruckus." And then he pops out of the teleporter. Again,
Once
the
he's gone,
arsonists
Syntax
downstairs
is
means...
gonna go.
yeah.
So we need to decide what happened up here. Do we see no Auric?
No Auric, just the doll.
Okay. And we stumbled upon the vials, and we're going to give those to Mavinda.
Or to Vox.
I think that's good.
Not to be a Deborah Downer, but
You're more like a Sally Sass-a-lot.
it's Sassy Susie if you're talking about the doll. Come on, even I remember that. No, if we give this to Mavinda, she'll know that we were the ones that broke in here. Isn't the whole point to get away with this?
This is important, Quintilius.
Well, yes, but we can do it in like a clever way. I
Oh,
don't know, write a
so we could
note,
just put
leave
on
it
a
on the
paper?
ground.
Yeah, a piece of paper that says evil trap on the door.
Yeah, like you don't have to disarm it, leave it to the teachers. If they fuck it up, they have the magical know-how to fix it. If we fuck it up, we die. Like, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to me. Also, I am exhausted and my hand hurts. That metal mask, I think, like, I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't, like, fracture a knuckle.
Telly, do you want me to kiss it better?
He, like, stops and, like, squints at you and he's like, this is the second time you flirted with me this evening, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, you can be quiet and think about it then.
You see his cheeks kind of burn as he really does have to stop and process this. But yeah.
Okay, I think we
Nim
go.
Nim will
Yeah.
take out like a piece of parchment from his bag and like scrawl on it like evil trap, don't come in here, like with a lot of exclamation points, and then put it on the door.
I love that. Yeah. You guys go downstairs, and as you walk through the bottom floor, the Earl waves at you all and says, "Goodbye, arson stoppers. I'll never forget you. I believe we will be fast friends until they recycle my memory programs. Farewell," as he goes back to just cleaning.
My God.
I'm coming back for that robot.
Yeah.
Don't forget, it has a little, like, top hat and then, like, the wire mustache. Okay.
Gonna break him out of here. Take him with us.
Save the
But yeah, he gestures for you guys to just, like, leave through the fucking front door, because that's where you guys came in.
And we do like badasses. Or we think we do while we look like shit.
You will also notice that the two of those statues that you destroyed are, like, halfway through reconstructing themselves.
Wow.
Yeah. The house is basically like cleaning and picking itself up.
Yeah. But on the bottom floor, you do notice there is a, like, you catch a glance of, like, a door that seems like it does kind of have, like, burn marks on it. And a few things that, like, it does seem like there was a pretty big fight. Like, one of the chairs from the dining room is just, like, broken on the ground. Like, someone probably took it and used it as an improvised weapon. Like, whatever happened down here, it was a fucking event. Yeah.
What happened upstairs was a bigger event.
Absolutely. But, like, also, it's just to show you guys, like, you guys got really lucky on the first floor with those rolls, man. But yeah, you guys go through the front door and you just see in the distance a very small little head of red hair poke up out of the bushes. And then
Nim, hold the doll up. Nim, hello?
What happened?
Yeah, hi. Hold up the doll.
What are we looking at? I'm sorry.
That's
Melody.
Rosie over there.
yeah, so you just see it's
Hold up
kind of
the
like
trophy.
Oh, it's
seeing a
Rosie.
cat at night where it's
Okay.
like just the outline of the head and kind of the like reflective eyes. It's like just, but her hair's very red, so it's just this kind of like tiny head poking out of a bush
Okay, I was just
across
like,
the
who is
field.
that? Okay,
That's
yeah, Nim
valid.
will like hold up the doll and be like, "We got it," like Simba style.
And then you see
Nice.
two small arms stick up next to the head, and just you hear like this howl of success across the way. And then you hear an echoing distant
Oh my
Um,
god.
and
That
as well as like
Never
a like yeah that you can tell is from Xanther. And then you hear Xanther, like, again, his voice carries. You hear him like, pay up. So you know that he definitely made bets on you guys.
Nice.
And yeah,
Hell yeah.
as you rejoin with the group, you do see a very disheveled Rubina, as well as two of her other lackeys. Two of the other lackeys are mysteriously absent. You can guess, because no one's like afraid, that they probably just bailed entirely. Like she tried to get them to go and they're like, yeah, fuck no. And so yeah. Rubina kind of grudgingly looks at you all and then just gives a, it's because you got in there first. But good job, I suppose.
Thank you.
Great.
Damn.
is her
Then
hair like half singed?
yeah, no, and
shit?
she
it's
looks like
missing it?
shit. Like it's one of those things where it's like the end is like still smoldering a little bit. So like, you know, you see like Xanther come by, like lick his fingers and like put it out for her.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she definitely has had much better days. Because she's very particular about her look too. So like the fact that she's even like this right now is yeah. Then Xanther comes over and smiles at all of you. Hey, so we made a little bet while you guys were in there because you were taking a while, and I mean it's always fun, but because we were betting on you, we figured you lot should probably get a cut of the pool. So he counts all of you guys, like he really has to count how many of you there are. And he's like, okay, cool, I guessed it right. And then he plops, he like puts handfuls of coins in each of your guys' hands. And you each get 28 gold pieces each.
What?
Riser's gonna take her hand and just look at it, but be sad at the
It's like, you look depressed. You should smile. You did something. Yes, you broke the rules, but like, you don't understand how much money they make on these things. So the fact that we got it. I say we because I bet it for you guys, and I was like the only one. Because people again haven't succeeded in this in like what 3 years or whatnot. So either way, it paid out very well for us, I might add.
Thanks
Good
for
job,
believing
guys.
in us.
Of course I did. Of course. Why wouldn't I? You guys are on my gymnastics team.
Risa looks at Xanther and just does a force smile like, thanks. And then doesn't say
You then hear Rosie, oh, you know, I've been hearing apparently that a new girl, Aurora's playing over at Bozen Tavern. Perhaps we should go and celebrate?
no.
Oh. Are you not?
Well, yeah.
We already have a very special and intimate pre-after games party planned.
Oh, well
like a
then
whole-
don't let me get in the way. She gives you like this like eyebrow thing of like she totally misinterpreted what like special and intimate meant. And then and so she just like walks on off, and like as anyone comes over to talk to you guys, she like pushes them away,
Does the
like
deflect.
let's like she's trying to be a
This is
wingman.
exactly what I wanted. Oh my god.
Like she's trying
Okay,
her
let's
best. She
go.
completely misinterpreted it, but like she's working for you.
Okay. I think when she like turns around, all of us just go from like the haha we did it to just like probably looking like shit and feeling sad. At least Syntax is.
Oh, I will say, sorry. As she's leaving, she stops and turns back around and then squints at Syntax. You're missing your leg!
It's right here.
Oh yeah.
She's like,
Name's just,
okay,
like,
sit
helping.
down,
He's
sit
just, like,
down,
carrying
sit
him
down. As she pulls out tools from God knows where and then comes over to you. Sit down, I'll reattach
Oh.
it so you can at least get back to your room.
I'm never putting this leg on again.
I can carry him. It's fine.
You know, maybe I'm not gonna work to unpack that. Have a good one. And then she just turns around and leaves.
She's a good friend.
You're damn
He
right
seems
I
like
am. And then she actually leaves.
As she's gone, Syntax is gonna mutter just so Evie can hear under his breath. He's gonna go, "Sure hope she isn't Auric."
You can be even more sad. Like, oh.
I mean, to be fair. Oh no, that was muttered. Never mind. I was gonna have a
Yeah.
Quintelius sassy remark, but that was muttered. Cool. So, I think this is a great place for us to take our 15-minute break. We are going to go into kind of a relatively long skip of time, as the rest of the semester is going to be relatively uneventful as far as Auric events and things outside of school activities. We're going to level up so that to kind of symbolize what happens during that amount of time. We'll also do scenes that any of the players want to do over the sort of majority of the first semester. Because this is level 3 and it's a pretty big level up, we're going to take our break now, and it's going to be about a 15-minute break. But if it ends up going a little bit longer, that's simply because I'm helping people make characters, or level up their characters and make subclass decisions. But we will be coming back, so even if we do end up taking a bit longer than 15 minutes, we will continue playing this evening.
There'll be some spicy scenes. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah. So until we see you in the next 15 minutes, or whatever it ends up being, but probably 15 minutes, let me go to the "we'll be right back," and I'll remember to mute us this time. Farewell for now.
Goodbye.
Hey, we are back. Thanks for being patient with us. We finished up our character level ups, and we are going to dive into the rest of this semester. So, after the events of the that our campus daredevils underwent in liberating Sassy Sally Jane, you guys have become effectively legends in their own right, in your own right. Um, sorry, yeah, Trent is eating very tasty snacks. Um, but I will say Rubina's kind of effort to become the coolest first year is not working. And over the course of this sort of following month, it doesn't really take root. By the end of the second month on campus, you guys are pretty much the de facto cool first years. In fact, you're some of the only first years who actually have friendships with people who are non first years. Mainly Rosie, grudgingly Greta. Like she's kind of a friend, but not really. Like she knows who you are. As well as Mina Lee. And Mina Lee is obviously a very popular individual, as she does work at the not Fire Jolt Cafe. So she is your guys' connection with her is no small feat. She also works for the Strixhaven Star, so you can bet that a very good article was written about these campus daredevils who liberated this thing, exposed an Auric plot and a plot of arsons. With a very in-depth interview with the one and only Earl, who takes care of the estate, the Captain Dapplewing Manor. So, is Jerry here but not playing? Is that what's happening in the chat? Yeah,
he
is.
probably just got off work.
Yeah, I'm assuming. But just in time, Jerry, we're going to do multiple month kind of time skips, so have fun. But yeah, so you guys are kind of the it crowd as far as first years go. Goddamn. Sorry, I'm just reading Jerry's comments. So for those of you who do not know, Fabled Rebel in chat is our other player who could not make it because of work. Yeah, so we also would like to point out that if Imogene was there, I'm pretty sure Aurora would have been killed. But he wasn't there, so Aurora did not die. Nim is bitches? Okay,
Oh, it's not showing me any of these. It's just the asterisks. Aw.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Go
Okay.
on.
But
Fuck, it's not the Jerry show. Shut up, Jerry.
But yeah, so we sorry, I'm getting so distracted by Jerry. This is all his fault. But yeah, so either way, you guys are currently so each hold on. Yeah, okay. Each semester is approximately 5 months. It's 5.5 technically. The half you already did. That was your first sort of month. And then the next month was Moran, which is what you guys were in during all of this. That month wraps up pretty quickly. But at the end of that month is your guys' first exam. You have had exams in all of your classes, but we're mainly going to be tracking your exams in the 2 classes that you guys share with one another, which is the Magical Regulations course led by Nils, who, on a side note, is convinced that Nim probably had something to do with the liberation of Sassy Sally Jane. but he has no evidence.
He has no proof.
So you can see, like, at one point he pulls him aside and be like, I hope you know if you're getting in trouble. Like, it would be better for you to come clean now, kind of thing. Like, the punishments will be less severe. And then, of course, I'm sure Nim is like, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so apart from that, and then Varelda Lang is, as always, the bubbly nymph of a teacher. Not of a teacher, she is a nymph. Who's
Nilf.
teaching your... Nilf. Nymph I'd like to find. I mean, isn't that every nymph? But...
Exactly.
She, nymph. So she is a nature spirit, like a tree dryad kind of thing. Yeah, technically a dryad because that is the nymph of trees. Nymphs are in water, right? But either way, she's the tree nymph, which I think is technically a dryad.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, dang, you can't see it, but I finger gunned you. I was like, yeah, okay. God, my hands are pale. Okay. In the camera, I just looked, they look dead. Okay. Oh, my cat is zooming, guys. Oh, she almost knocked over the fan. This is fine. It's fine. Yeah, I'm very pale. One of these days I'll go outside, but it is not this day. So you managed to get through that first chapter on elementals. Now, we're going to do our first exam. Our exams are a very fun, for me, experience that how we go about doing this is those who have various jobs and whatnot might not have studied as hard as others who do not have jobs. I believe all of you guys have jobs or extracurriculars or whatnot fully to the brim, except Giuseppe and Evelina. I believe you guys are the only ones who saved specific spaces for studying. So, what we're going to do, there's a studying phase and an exam phase. So, the studying is you guys brushing up on your coursework, coming up with, mnemonics to help remember things, the typical kind of studying sessions. So each character, you must succeed on an ability check against a DC that is for this exam. Because this is our starting exam, it's just going to be a DC 10. You can use any ability and skill that you wish, so long as you can justify it for studying. Those of you who do have time to study will get to make this roll with advantage. Everyone else will not. And then if you are very, very preoccupied during this time, you will be making this roll with disadvantage to imply that you didn't have time to really study at all. I believe only one of you is so distracted that you probably are going to have disadvantage with this studying check. And that would be Syntax, who has been rather distracted with rebuilding their body and also other sort of private endeavors locked away in their room. So, for example, you guys might make a history check to pore over books, while another student might make a performance check to come up with a series of mnemonics. You could do a sleight of hand to create reminding gestures or practice any physical components of a spell, things like that. So we're going to go through everyone. And then on a successful check, you gain one reroll to use during your testing phase, which will be helpful. You can also pull an all-nighter, which will give you 2 rerolls for the testing phase if you succeed. However, you will get... hold on, I'm trying to see what... However, you will get 2 re-rolls, but you'll have a level of exhaustion for the actual test, which means, hold on, I'm reading these rules and I actually don't like that. So I'm just going to ignore that because it kind of counteracts each other. There's no real point to it. So we're just going to ignore that. Oh, there's a rooster in the music just then.
Say, did anyone else hear that?
Yeah. Okay, so first off, Giuseppe, are you properly studying, or is he kind of distracted?
He's definitely proper studying.
Cool. So, how does he study? What check do you want to make to beat a DC 10? So look at your skills and see if you can come up with some clever thing. And again, you have advantage on this.
I'm not sure I understand, like, what kind of, is it a, like, performance
It
check,
can't,
or-
so in other words, look at a skill that you're good at and try to think of a way that you could use that skill to help with studying. So performance, maybe you came up with a rhyme. And so you have to like practice the rhyme and you're performing it to yourself to help you study.
Okay, so I have high in, like, animal handling.
Okay.
And
Well,
nat-
what's
and
nature and perception and history.
Oh.
Well, history's easy because history is just reading books, right? It's research. Animal handling is one that might be difficult to apply to a test. However, Varelda's class is, that's the one that we're doing the test on, is a class about magical creatures. So this is one of the few times you can actually use that skill without trying to come up with some clever way around it.
Okay, cool. So do you want me to roll that?
Yeah, let's go for that. So let's do your animal handling. So this is kind of your innate knowledge of how animals work. And because you have you don't have extracurriculars or classes that get in the way, you can roll this twice and take the better result.
Okay.
You already succeeded by rolling a 16, and your second result is a 14. So we'll stick with that 16. You now have 1 re-roll for the actual test. So just keep that in mind. You've succeeded. You've gotten some help on the actual test. Next, let's do Evelina. Evelina, what are you up to? You also have enough time to spend extra studying. Are you gonna do that? Cool. So you'll have advantage on this check. Now, what skill is Evelina using to study? And again, flavor this however you guys want. Have fun with it.
I'd say history because she's going back through her notes. She's gonna definitely be at that cave where she has different colored markers if there's
I love
if
it.
those are here, and then like circle things and color things in.
She's got the highlighter quill, you know. But cool. Yeah. So roll history with advantage for me. Again, it's just a DC 10.
Roll with advantage. History. Come on, Evie.
Okay, well, that's good that you had advantage because one was a crit and the other was a 4 plus 5, so a 9. So your crit absolutely succeeds. Because it's a crit, you're going to get 2 rerolls on this next one for the test.
Oh, it's working.
Yeah, as opposed to just 1. So great job there. Next, Nim. What is Nim up to?
Like, in general?
So Nim is fully booked with work and extracurriculars.
He is.
So that means he won't have advantage on this roll. However,
Makes sense.
if he's really not trying to study at all, he's going to have disadvantage on this roll. Or,
What class is it for?
This is for the magical animal course, pretty much.
Okay.
You can also, I will say, you guys have the option to forego this entirely if your character is not even going to try to cram.
Nim would study not as much for this as he would for like his necromancy courses.
But
because-
he'll still like review it because there's a test tomorrow, kind of thing.
Yeah. Cool. So can I use animal handling? for
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thing?
you can. And go for it. This will just be a flat roll.
I guess we'll see if he actually did study or not.
Yeah.
It's loading.
Don't you
Sorry.
love that? No worries. While that's loading, just for the
It was almost a 1.
what was
14.
it? 14? Awesome.
That
It hasn't popped up for me yet, but yeah, 14 works so that you have
Great.
one reroll. Again, everyone remember how many rerolls
Okay.
you have for this exam. So far, everyone is 1 except Evie is 2. So now, Ryza, what is Ryza doing? Is Ryza studying?
Yeah, Rex is gonna study.
Okay, cool. Roll for me. What are you studying? Like, how are you studying? Sorry, what skill?
Probably history.
History.
He would
Cool.
definitely like, like regular study.
Yeah. Sorry, I just read part of chat that I hadn't seen yet, and I hate it. Okay, that was, and I covered it up, so I actually don't know what it was. That was a 10. That's exactly what you need. So you are good. You managed to get that plus 1 reroll for your actual test. Now, Kaerthana, what is Kaerthana doing? How are you studying? Are you not? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to Kay.
Kay has been studying. She's actually, I'm gonna roll for persuasion. She's actually, every time she's been in the common shared room, she's been persuading people who she knows are in the same classes to study with her and to go
Hell yeah, persuasion, go for it.
going over it with other folks.
14, nice. Yeah, you get that plus. And then last but certainly not least, are you even studying? Is he going to try to cram or is he just going to show up?
No, but I have a shitty thing that he's going to do that's worse than studying.
Oh, I love it. What is it?
He's just going to... So he knows he's not paying attention because he's doing a lot of this shit. Like, Syntax goes to class sometimes. He doesn't even go all the time right now. And except for the important ones, like Tavash's lessons and shit.
The important
he'll go to
ones.
work. Yeah, it's true.
No, absolutely.
So he is paying attention enough to know that the group is studying. So he's just gonna try to if any of them leave their notes out for a little bit, or keep it in their books, or just when they're in their rooms for just even the tiniest amount of times. Just gonna try to tuck those in and look at them really quickly and shove them back in.
Hell
Essentially stealing his friend's notes to look at them because he can't be bothered to do his own.
Cool. So is that a stealth check? I think that's a stealth check. Or what check is that?
Fine. Stealth, sleight of hand, it doesn't matter, they're the same.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go for stealth for me.
Okay, and I have disadvantage because I'm not paying attention.
Yes,
doing this,
you have
right?
disadvantage.
Okay, that would have been a good roll.
So 19 on the first roll. Come on, second roll.
Still good.
13. Okay, yeah, you're fine. This is a joke of a class. You're fine.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay, so now we're to the actual test. This first test is on elementals. This will consist of 2 ability checks. The specifics I have, but if a character gained any rerolls during the study phase, the character can use 1 reroll when making it. However, rerolls are not advantage. A reroll replaces your roll. So if you rolled Deja doesn't like that. So if
I love that.
If you
and we don't know the DC, do we? On the test? Don't tell us.
Okay,
that makes the reroll fun.
Okay, then I won't tell you the DC. I will tell you the studying DC so you can get an idea. The test will always be harder than the studying DC. But it will never be astronomically harder. That's the point.
Like,
Okay. So, each character's testing phase has 3 possible results. First, you failed. You had no successful ability checks out of the 2. You got less than half the questions correct. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at your guys' faces and I see stress.
No, this
I'm
is
so
amazing.
sorry.
I'm so happy.
Second, passed. One of your checks succeeded. So you just kind of got a middle of the road die, but it's not the end of the world. You passed. Now, if you get both right, you aced it. If you ace a test, you will get something called 2 student dice. If you only passed, you'll only get 1 student dice. And if you failed, you'll get none. I'll explain what a student dice is now. It's a D4 that you can add to any ability check you make. So long as it is an ability check using one of the 2 skills that I'm going to test you on in the test. So that's the thing. Studying, you can do any skill check, but for the test, there are specific skills I'm going to make you test.
A lot of negatives.
Okay, so first up, there's also another option you guys have. Final thing, and then we'll get into
Is
it.
it cheating?
There is a system for cheating.
Yes.
So, doing so requires a successful charisma deception check and a successful dexterity sleight of hand check, both using the DC set for the exam. If a character cheats, they can't use any of their rerolls from the studying phase.
That makes sense because you not started.
If the character fails the exam with these cheats, if a character fails with the cheats, that means a proctor caught you cheating.
Caught you.
Oh.
If they are both successful, if they are both otherwise, it's the usual passed and aced things. Okay? So 1 success, you passed. 2 successes, you aced. Cheating.
As long as you don't fail. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, as long as you don't fail a cheating roll, you're fine. Now
But if you fail one of them, you're screwed.
No, sorry. If you failed both. But if you, I will say, it doesn't say it here, but this is how I'm doing it. Every test is 2 rolls. I will tell you what the skills are. You can choose to cheat on just one of those.
Yeah, okay.
But if you only cheat on one and you get it wrong, you're caught cheating. If you cheat on the whole test, you can get one wrong so long as you succeed on the other, you didn't get caught. So there's a gamble. If you cheat, might as well just cheat on the whole thing, pretty much. Sure. Okay, does that make sense, everyone? Now
this is amazing.
I saw this system and I'm like, this is amazing. We're gonna do this. So first, magical physiologies exam, guys. Our first question is a multiple choice question talking about the different types of elementals. It's one of, so it's different types of elementals. This is going to be a intelligence arcana check, dealing with the ways that different elements interact in the construction of a elemental. So, can I have everyone roll a DC not stated?
No, don't tell us.
I know I messed that up. An intelligence arcana check, or you can choose to cheat.
How do you do an intelligence?
So it's just arcana. It's just arcana.
Okay.
Intelligence just means that's the core ability attached to it. Okay, syntax.
School is not fair.
Okay,
Jesus.
I see. Okay, so I will say you have Dylan. Ryza has 1 reroll for this whole test, and that is a 3. Would you like to use a reroll now? I will also say the same to you, Deja, with a 6. Everyone else, you might want to use a reroll, but everyone else is high enough that you might be fine. The others, again, remember, it's harder than the studying phase. So you know, to be a little meta, you know it's at least a DC 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna read.
Okay, and Ryza, are you going to reroll, or are you just going to try to get it on the next check?
Let's try and get on.
On the next one? Okay, cool. There is no going back. Please boot Jerry from chat. Okay. 17. Okay. We will not state if that is good or not. I mean, if it wasn't, that'd be a fucked up first test, guys.
It blocks off all the bad words when I read chat, so I just have to fill in what Jerry's saying, and it makes it funnier.
I think you can change that somewhere in settings.
Yeah, I'm like
That's
looking
fine.
at it, and I'm like, I'm seeing all of it. Like,
Oh, I could see it. Yeah, that's what I thought it said.
okay. So our second one is a short essay where you are talking about the pros and cons of different types of elementals in various environmental situations. Why you may want to choose to use a water elemental versus a fire elemental if you're on a ship at sea, if you are in a swamp, yada yada, stuff like that. So essentially, it's a little mini essay talking about that, and that will be an insight check to see if you can figure it out, if you're insightful enough to know when to summon the right thing. So wisdom, insight check for me, everyone.
So
And
if I
Jerry
choose
is
to
still
cheat-
going to be doing these tests, guys. I'm not going to let Jerry's character not do it.
Yes.
Just saying, Jerry's going to do it. We'll do it like at the beginning of next session or something. Okay. So
If I cheat, I can't use my roll from studying.
you cannot
right?
use your reroll if you cheat.
Or insight.
But you can choose to do either deception or sleight of hand if you cheat. Okay, so Syntax, you got a 3. Dylan, you got a 6. Nim got a 20. Evelina got a 19. Deja got a 17. And Emily got an 18. So I will ask both Syntax and Dylan. Oh, sorry, Trent and Dylan. Both of you have a reroll dice. Would you like to use
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Go for it.
I didn't steal my friend's notes for nothing.
Oh my god. Okay, Syntax, you got a 12. And Ryza got a 24.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
A plus plus plus.
Okay, so the next week or so rolls around and you guys get your test results back. All of you who got 2 successes, which means you rolled above a DC 12, you guys now have 2 student dice. I believe that is every single one of you, except Ryza. However, Ryza's essay was so amazing, and so fantastic from that crit, that it more than makes up for some careless marks for the multiple choice section, and Ryza also aced the test. So all of you ended up acing this test. Congratulations. You all have 2 student dice. So what those are D4s that you can add to any insight or arcana check you make. Please mark these somewhere on your character sheet. They're like inspirations, so once you use them, they are gone. Both cannot be used on the same check, but you can add them to one that you used inspiration on. If you use inspiration, you will not be re-rolling your student dice. But it's a D4 that you can roll and add to a skill. So yeah, congratulations. You guys aced your first test. This would be where I was going to originally level you guys up as a reward for finishing your test, but we have already done that. The next month rolls by, and now that you've kind of done some tests in your classes, all of you are doing very well in school. We're extrapolating out how you're doing in all your classes based off of these tests, just for the sake of not driving ourselves insane doing tests the entire game. Where is the... I have so many windows open and I couldn't find the right one. So as this month ends, the month of Moran, you go into Frostfall. Frostfall is called as much because it's the beginning of winter. Think of it kind of like October.
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah, so the first day is the first day of winter, and sure enough, Fire Jolt Cafe does now start selling kind of those pumpkin spice lattes and whatnot. It definitely has gone full that. You see your groundskeeper, Eudora, at one point levitating some pumpkins through the central quad. Again, you're looking at your central campus here. There's that big statue in the center and the floating bow of stones around it. And as the month goes on, more and more jack-o'-lanterns get propped precariously on those floating stones.
Hang on. This is ruining my immersion that it's pumpkins. Can we change them to gourds just because it's a little more fantasy that it's slightly different?
Yeah, okay,
just
we'll do
general
gourds.
Gourds. It's so stupid.
Yeah, we'll do generalized gourds.
I like that.
Gourds. It's also just a stupid word.
No, I love it. The winter solstice rolls around at the end of the month, on the 22nd. And so I guess it's not like October, it's more like the middle of winter, but but I am good with my calendaring.
Real cold real quick.
Yeah, so it got really cold really fast, but again, this is it's not an area that snows. So you don't really have to deal with snow. It's a lot more...
I'm here for the freaking different skins for NPCs and players. I want to see them in their winter cute clothes.
Yeah, I would love to too, but I am not made of money, and commissions are expensive.
No, we could just say, I want to see Giuseppe in a little Santa elf costume. With a little jingly bells and the fuzzy sleeves. But no, it doesn't snow.
That doesn't mean that they don't have like little enchanted areas in Central Quad where it's like, this weekend we have ice skating. You know, it's that kind of like college, yeah.
Great.
Winter solstice is kind of a, it's not Christmas, but it is that kind of celebrate winter kind of day. So that's when they'd have the little ice skating rink and all of that. Meanwhile, I will say over the last month or two, Aurora has been begrudgingly joining you guys for Friday meals. She started off very kind of standoffish, but every once in a while there'll be moments where it's like she genuinely laughs at something you guys say, or there's just these moments where like everyone involved forgets there's bad blood there and then enjoys themselves, and then like right after it's this whole like, oh shit, we're not allowed to do that. And at this point, I'd say probably the only one who is still kind of like your saving grace for the entire group is probably Giuseppe. Because Giuseppe is just so social that like they're the one being like, so how was your Yamana? You know, like I can imagine anyways, right? The Ryza Aurora dynamic is very awkward. Aurora does not like to make eye contact with Ryza, and intentionally places herself at like the furthest end of the table. after about a month and a half of doing this, she asks you all, like, do we still have to do this? Like, you get the point. Or who are we even fooling at this point? I'll take Emily's nodding as Giuseppe immediately interrupting as she's asking this.
And then I go in for our secret handshake that I made her learn.
Yes.
She'll smile at this, like she can't actually dislike Giuseppe. No one can. And so she grudgingly decides she'll keep doing it. And come the second month, the end of Frostfall, it's weird to say that you guys might be friends because you're not. But at the same time, she at least can't say she hates you guys. It's a very strange dynamic.
Syntax isn't being mean. In their back of their mind, they know that we kind of do have to win her over. I think a lot of us think that, maybe. So at least he's thinking that. So he is trying to play casual. At least have a good time when we can. Yeah.
So does anyone else share that same mindset as Syntax?
Yeah, Nim does.
Cool. And I'm assuming Giuseppe, if you made a secret handshake. Yeah. What about Evelina, Kaerthana, and Ryza? I see the slow nod, so Ryza definitely not. What about Evelina?
I think she thinks that maybe there could be something like maybe. Sorry, words.
You're good.
Like she thinks maybe there could be some way. Maybe they could get Aurora on their side, kind of. So
Okay.
she has hope to.
And then Kaerthana. I feel like you're probably more like Ryza. But what are you feeling here?
I don't think Kay is quite as resentful as Ryza, but Kay isn't pretending like, oh, we're buddy friends. I think Kay isn't over aggressive, but she's definitely not like over friend. So it's very much like
we have a deal.
I don't trust you still, and I'm not going to pretend to be nice to you just to make you think I love you. So it's very transactional.
Okay, cool. And then I'm just assuming Imogene is probably...
We don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah, I'm just saying because Fabled Rebel Jerry keeps on saying, like, kill her and shit.
Oh my gosh.
I have this... Tell me if I'm wrong, Jerry, if you're still there. I feel like it's that kind of like he has this really nice front, but like they're not even thinly veiled threats. Like
Syntax wants to talk to her in private sometime, actually.
Yeah, we'll do that soon. So I'm not gonna claim to know what Jerry's character's doing, but I do like the idea of trying to figure it out. It's just kind of fun. But at the meantime, everyone who is trying to kind of win her over, can I have a persuasion check from you guys?
I don't know that Nib would necessarily be trying to win her over.
No, sorry. What I mean is not necessarily win over. This is just over the course of a month to two. Like, this check is to symbolize... essentially to symbolize the fact that you guys are putting in effort to not be...
Today, these rolls...
Hell yeah, let's
go.
go.
I rolled a d20. I rolled a nat 20 again.
I rolled a 22.
Okay. So, 3 out of 4 of you succeeded. So she is, at the very least, she does not have a negative level of friendship with you guys. If not, you guys would start getting to those banes where you start having negative reactions from people on campus. You're not at that point. However, Kay, you're approaching that point. So, you're not, but there's a little bit of ice between you guys. Like, she's not going to act like she knows who you are if it's just you and her who happen to bump into each other in the hallway. You know what I mean? Like, she's not going to, yeah. You guys don't exist. You don't exist to her until you have to, which is Friday's mealtimes. Ryza never exists because she is doing everything in her power to avoid Ryza. To the point of, like, she'll like go into the bathroom, see Ryza's there, and then like just leave. Like, it's very obvious that she's avoiding Ryza. Sorry. I just, Jerry, he'd be passively hostile. Yeah, I'd say he then in that case, Imagine is probably in the same boat with Kay, where it's kind of right almost at that point of being enemies, but not quite. Like, the only thing stopping you guys from having negative banes with her is that the rest of the group doesn't. And that's also the only thing stopping her from seeing the rest of the group as friends, really, is the fact that half the group hates her.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah. So as the months go on, you're kind of in the middle of this winter festivities on campus, and Syntax, you wanted to do a private scene with her. Again, if anyone wants to do anything as I'm describing, interrupt and tell me. If I'm talking about winter and you're like, oh my god, I want to do a scene with blah, just say it. If you don't say anything during these time skips, I'm just going to keep moving. Because I won't know that I'm passing over something you want to do. Okay? This goes with an extracurricular club, with a job, anything like that. Continue. So Syntax, you wanted to have a scene with her.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it somewhat brief, but maybe during our what's the Witherbloom class? Like, I don't know if we would have time where we like go out into the swamps or something.
Yeah, there's
and look for
lab
stuff.
time too and all
Cool.
that, yeah.
He'll try to like pair off with her and get her away enough from the group that they could talk during that.
Okay. So during one of the kind of like field trips out into the bog where you guys are looking for pests, you do manage to sort of pair up with her and isolate.
He'll like pity make her pair up because he's either sitting in a wheelchair, which we probably can't use in the swamps, or he's got arm crutches, so he's like, can you help me, Aurora? I can't grab this.
She'll help you, and then like halfway through walking, she'll be like, okay, but why haven't you reattached your leg?
Because I can do better.
She just kind of stays quiet at that. I really didn't mean to blow off your leg. It's
fine.
Kind of stayed behind.
I'm the one who attacked you first. I have no idea if you were actually going to hurt us. We all did things we all made our choices.
She just gives kind of like a sort of distant nod to that.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of our group doesn't quite like you, but I am a bit curious about you and your story and your organization itself.
She kind of does that like casual looking around. She's not obvious, but it's that like she's bending over to pick stuff up, but you can see she's checking the corner of her eyes and all that stuff to make sure no one's directly within earshot. As she stands back up, putting some of the fungus you guys are... sorry. Fungus, and like she picks up one of the weird like frog-like pests and puts it in a bag. What do you want to know?
It's not necessarily that you have this information, but I am particularly looking into magic that I don't know is entirely legal here or allowed.
She lets out a sigh. Look, we don't trade in, like, black magic. That's not the thing. She gets to work picking up some more fungus and whatnot.
I'm not
They're
talking
kind of-
about black magic.
There's kind of two camps with us. Those of us that are religious, and those of us that want more leniency, want the academia to not be as, I guess, all-encompassing with their power. A lot of it actually has less to do with the magics that are restricted and more to do with how they are managing the restrictions. But for me, it's actually it's a religious thing.
Really, I haven't. Go on.
Have you heard of, well, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of it, but Carinae is the continent across the ocean, the one that about 100 years ago was rediscovered. Well,
Okay.
they say gods walk, they manifest, and they're part of the world over there. And they don't hear. Sure, that means we don't have to deal with crazy devils or whatnot, but that also means that all of the good ones aren't here either. Like, I know gods exist, but I find myself wishing they were more present.
It sounds like you feel alone.
I mean, I suppose who doesn't, but it's I don't know who first figured it out, but there's belief that the cataclysm that broke the world and ended up spurning the creation of Strixhaven. Spurning the creation? Spawning, whatever. They think that the founding dragons did something to lock the gods out. So if there's a solution to that, it's somewhere here on campus. So that's the main reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because all the suffering in the world, it's bad, and obviously I don't want to hurt anyone, but if I can bring back Coralon, if I can bring back true divine magic to the world, all that suffering, there'll be a reason to it, right? It'll be fixed. That's worth a few lives lost. Even my own.
Well, thank you for sharing with me.
Sorry, I realized that didn't really answer your question, but
It kind of did.
if you want any forbidden magics, I don't really know anything about them, and to be honest, I don't think I can get you in contact with anyone who does either. You're probably best off going to Fane the Broker if you're looking for that. He's a silver quill teacher.
I'm not looking for anything that already exists, but thank you for your honesty.
She frowns. Then what are you looking for?
He'll keep walking slowly away.
She rolls her eyes and kind of chuckles at this. She's like, okay, so you get to be mysterious.
Next Friday.
She chuckles again. She's like, okay, for once I'm actually excited to, so I guess thanks for that.
And then Syntax will grumble as he's like, I just cleaned these shoes or something as he steps in something.
I love it. Okay.
Shoe singular.
These were swayed.
This was
This
swayed.
shoe. This shoe.
I
Thank you for
love
having me.
Jerry's response. If they were anarchists, I would be all for it. The Auric are boring. Some of them are anarchists. This is just her. That's essentially what she was saying, is like, there's one group that's anarchists,
Yeah,
there's one group
It's
that are
all right.
religious.
We'll learn.
Yeah.
We'll learn in character.
Cool. Does anyone else want to do anything right now, or care to keep moving through this semester?
What time are we planning on ending?
Oh shit, it's 11:30. I'm so sorry.
Like, I'm cool if we want to keep going.
No, I didn't look at the time. I literally, last I looked, it was 10:30. So I was like, we still have a half hour, but I'm a liar. Because we started later, I'm okay going a little bit longer. But I also want to make sure that everyone can take care of themselves and all that. So I do think we probably should wrap up. But that being said, we will continue with this kind of generalized what's going on in this school year next session. And depending, we could be approaching the end of this semester, which is good. That means that we get to start the next semester, have some fun with that. But I also want to really emphasize that we have more opportunities for role play, and a lot of this game hinges on you guys wanting to do something. Like, I think I really liked that scene with Aurora and Syntax, but that only happened because Trent said something. So please do not hesitate to ask or say anything. You guys have a week to come up with any cool things you want your characters to do. Or any NPCs you want them to pursue. It can also be clubs, because we haven't really looked into clubs much. But
Does anyone have one more scene that they want to do?
Yeah,
We're fine doing one more.
I was going to say I'm down to do one more scene if people want. I know that I can think of some that I think Syntax would like to do, but I
I
also...
want to do one with Kareth enough. No one else has anything, but that's only if no one else has anything.
Well, it's gonna be more of like
You're cutting in and out. What was that?
I said I have one, but I think it's gonna be more like montage inspired, so it can lead into.
Yeah, cool. So start us off with your montage-inspired scene, and then we can go into the Syntax and Karethna, if everyone's okay with that. Cool.
Yeah. Kay wants to approach Zaphai. She wants to start working on him with wild magic control. She's a little embarrassed about it, but she's not going to tell anyone else, but is going to stay after one day and try to talk to him about that.
I love that. So at the Prismari campus, after class, you approach Zaphai, the one and only, and he turns to you. Yes, my little turtle dove. As he says that, little doves explode into existence and like fade out once they get like a foot away from him.
I guess I just wanted to ask about how managed your wild magic. I guess how control it.
In the middle of that sentence, he grabs each side of your head and then pushes his forehead against your head. And it's like an awkward 30 seconds of this, like, his eyes are closed and he is so intensely, like, sensing into, like, your aura or something else. And then he, like, pushes you away and, like, lets out this gasp of air like he was holding his breath. And And then he looks at you, and you can see there's like the traces of tears in his eyes. As he looks at you, he says, "There is potency in your body, in your being. Brilliant magic that wants to rip free. I can only imagine the pain and suffering you have felt and that you have caused. But do not fear. I was the same. How about this? We can work together. During my office hours, I'll set aside time for you every week, and we can study and try to... You see, the key is to let it out, not bottle it up.
But that hasn't gone very well.
You have to find your means. As he does that, like a little, like vortex forms as he twists his hand. For me, it was music. I managed to find music, and the emotions I felt with that music allowed me to find a way to manifest my magic. Now it manifests in almost everything I do, in part because I have found the music in everything. It makes it so when I actually perform my music, it's not explosive, but rather spectacular. A small price to pay to be able to perform my art. So what is your manifestation? What is your passion? What drives you? This... He does like a dramatic gaze up, and you see little like stars appear right above him. This is what we will discover together. This is what Prismari can do for you. And even if you do not choose Prismari, I cannot call myself a teacher, a professor, an instructor if I do not try to help every student. So should you not choose Prismari, if you still need private lessons, my office hours are always available to you. I sense a kindred bond between us. Should you find music is your liberator, or art, or science, or, God forbid, necromancy, whatever liberates your being is... Well, it's its own form of divinity, isn't it? And he gives you a smile that actually does come across as genuine, not performative. I can't hear you, child. You're going to have to speak up.
Well, I'll work on finding that part, finding the liberator. But just for the start, I just would like to be able to feel things strongly and not blow things up. So I think that's where I start.
Absolutely, he says as fireworks blast behind him. Notice, it did not blow things up. Only looked that way. We find that liberator for you, and we can start allowing yourself to feel. For it serves a conduit for your emotion, a conduit for your magic, and a means of control. Because after all, magic is just an extension of self for us, no? They only call it wild because to tame oneself is the hardest thing you could possibly do. It is not wild any more than being happy or sad is wild. It is you, and the moment you are able to fully comprehend that, you'll find you won't need to control it anymore. Now, unfortunately, Of course, he says as he like puts his arms into an arabesque. Now forgive me, I must go off to my next class. But you know when and where to meet for my office hours. He does a gesture and it writes in the air in sparkling, like almost sparklers, kind of. But it just like writes it in the air, kind of this sparkling, crackling thing. And he's like, that one will burn you if you touch it, so be careful. And then he like does this dramatic run out the room. And it's like, until later. And yeah. Over the following month or so, your private lessons with Sapphire do actually go relatively well. He takes you into the Fury Gale, which is the same place that Ryza performed music with Aurora, where there's just a ton of chaotic magic twirling around you. At first, it's very intimidating because pretty much nowhere on campus would remind you more of the magic inside of you than this area where magic is just jostling, tearing things apart, re-knitting things together, and just is in utter chaos. But he quickly begins working with you in finding ways to kind of vent the emotional anxiety, and starts working with you with this concept of not bottling it up. That as you feel anger, to come here and be angry. Because you can't hurt anything. You can explode. You see him yell in anger, and a literal fireball big enough to make a mushroom cloud explodes in the middle of the Fury Gale. And he just emphasizes that emotions are not bad. But unfortunately, you two have an added responsibility in how you have to manage them, which is not fair. But that doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel those emotions. But you have to find the right and safe place to feel it. So while you work on figuring out what, like, Kay's, I guess, magical muse would be, he is essentially trying to get you to essentially use the Fury Gale as a therapy place. And allow yourself to feel those things you haven't been wanting to feel. And doing so does make it a lot easier to control when you feel emotions, because it is kind of like a dam. You're venting that excess pressure, so now you can still stop it. And yeah.
You.
And then Syntax wanted to talk to Kay.
We could do it next time. It's getting late. And I don't want to put that scene into like a half-baked thing.
That's valid. So
it's going to be during Acrobatics Club, though.
Fuck yeah, we get some club time. So again, keep in mind what clubs you guys are in if you want to do anything like that. I believe there are a few students that you guys probably might not have met but would know through clubs. But it kind of just depends on if you end up going the club route. Or you get what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So now, this will be the end of our session tonight. Keep in mind any scenes or anything you want to explore in your first semester on campus, because if we do not, we will be approaching our finals and kind of the end of this sort of arc. Or this semester, I should say. We will have another just normal test next session. So be prepared. And just, I hope you guys had fun. I have to do some mild rewriting.
We'll fill it in with character fan fiction.
Please do. That's really what this is, guys. This is your opportunity to fanfic the shit out of this.
Didn't even talk to Quintilius after all that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's totally not traumatized, guys. Why would you ever believe that?
No.
Yeah, he's afraid of statues now.
What? First off, what a dude. He kept our secret
Yeah.
about Aurora.
Yeah.
Guys, he's with you every Friday at lunch.
Is
He's
he?
absolutely,
yeah.
he's part of that. He's not leaving. Like, he might not sit with you other days,
dope.
but he's there every Friday. Like,
I want
he's,
the dirt.
yeah, like, he's not gonna not be there. He's part of this whole deal. He also did say at
Syntax
one
makes him
point,
carry his books.
he will throw a huge fit, but he'll absolutely do it every time. But I will say at some point, if you guys ever call him out for like, why are you even here? He'll be like, I have to convince Aurora that I'm a bigger part of your group than I am, just for my own safety. And you know, he's aware that he's not actually part of the dream team.
No,
Oh.
But yeah,
sad.
He is.
But he's not a PC. He's an NPC, and he knows it.
yeah, pretty much.
No.
But yeah, that will be where we end today. And oh my god, BRB, I'm writing Syntax and Quinty fanfic. Honestly, aren't we all?
If you do, send it to me.
I will post
read it.
our
I'll
Discord.
read it on stream.
Hell yeah. Well, it depends on how intense it gets. We're an R. We're a hard R rating, but
We're a hard R, not a soft R.
okay. Well, I mean, I'm just saying because we've like, how many times have we cussed just in chat? You know what I
Hard
mean?
R, but not a full mast R.
Oh my god, I didn't actually process that until you said that. Like, I didn't get the joke until you. Okay.
I know, that's why I had to push it a little further.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's it. See,
Well,
that's still,
goodbye,
that's still not
guys.
bad. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. See you guys next week. The week after that, we will not be playing because I am moving. But that will be it. And next week we will be playing like usual. And yeah, it's always a poor choice of wording with me, to be completely honest.
It's not canceled.
Yeah, Strixhaven is not canceled. Did I say that? Did I say
No, in the chat.
Okay, I was like, did I mess that one up too? Whatever, guys. Bye. But again, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah. Oh, dang it. I was trying to transition out on that, and then I just missed the button entirely. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.